It was a cold February day. I had just gotten home from a romantic lunch date where he'd presented me with flowers, balloons, and those stupid little coupons that I could cash in anytime for a massage. And that's when I got a call from a girl who informed me that he had in fact gotten her these same exact Valentine's Day gifts.
Girl, I know you're fucking lying.
And that, my friends, is why Valentine's Day is a scam, because I am not lying.
Welcome to the Sisterhood Tea Party, where we're exposing the red flags, rating the icks, and deciding once and for all, is Valentine's Day actually worth it?
Yes, friends, we are starting this episode a bit different today. It is a full episode of podcast games dedicated to the most controversial holiday, Valentine's Day.
Yes, so let's get into it. We're kicking off by playing What's the Ick? Valentine's Day edition. This time, we're doing rapid fire. So, I'm going to start proposing on Valentine's Day. Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Please.
Absolutely not. Because if you have 360, I'm going to say 360 days. I'm not even going to say all of them because there's a few other holidays that I have issue with. If you propose on Valentine's Day, you might as well just take the ring back. I can't. No.
Yeah, it's like an excuse. It's like I can't think about romance any other day except Valentine's Day.
No, I just think that's so dumb. Like that is the day that you want to choose. I would even be okay with February 13th. Actually, no, because that's Galentine's Day, and we're not doing that. I would be okay with February 12th. You can propose to me on February 12th. That would be fine.
Yes.
The 14th? No.
Hard pass. Okay, I'll go next. One of my Valentine's Day icks is heart-shaped pizza. Because let's be real, it never looks like a heart. It looks like a weird elongated blob. And while we're here, we can just go ahead and throw in any kind of heart-shaped candy. Love the idea of it. Open it, and it's just like a weird oval with a butt on the end. Like, no. And seeing that as a giant pizza, it's a no for me.
I could see that. And honestly, along the lines of those heart-shaped things, Chick-fil-A does their heart-shaped trays. What's the point of that?
I'm sorry, is it a tray?
It's a tray that they serve like the chicken nuggets and the brownies and like they're up like a few like food items. I'm like, what? Why?
Capitalism.
Like, I can't just order that like in a regular box. Like, what's the heart gonna do?
Yeah, it's a no for me.
Yeah, no, thank you. Another one that I was thinking about because here's the thing, it's cringy, but Valentine's Day soft launch photo shoots. Why? That is so like that's when you choose to announce your partner with a photo shoot, and then not even that, a soft launch where it's like holding hands and it's just like this like black and white situation, maybe like some color with like I can't. No, there are better ways to do a soft launch. I like the idea of soft launches, but not on Valentine's Day and not a photo shoot to announce your partner. That's all.
I agree. It feels forced. I love the idea of it too, partially because, my husband and I never got to do a soft launch photo shoot. That wasn't a thing when we met. So I love the idea. I'm always like, I want to soft launch my husband. It just sounds funny. But on Valentine's Day, yeah, it feels forced. It feels like, I don't know, not here for it. Not on Valentine's Day. Like, make that a special moment on your own. Valentine's Day is about Valentine's Day, not about the other stuff that comes along with the relationship that you should just get because you're in that relationship anyways.
Very true. I agree with that.
Okay, my next one is massage coupons. Like, those little coupons that are like, you can exchange this for a free massage or free blowjob or whatever the hell they say.
No, because that's some unhinged ones. Why would I need to redeem something to get something from you? I just gotta ask. And you will, the fuck.
and maybe I'm a little triggered because of my opening story. It was a real story and there were massage coupons involved. But like, it just gives me the ick. It's a hard no. And by the way, that story was obviously not from my husband. That was someone in high school.
No, but, he would never. He would never.
No, he would not. He is really good at Valentine's Day gifts, but we'll talk about that later.
I love it. Okay, the last thing, which was kind of related to the last ick I just kind of talked about, but Valentine's Day social media posts. So the ones that are out there being like, happy Valentine's Day to the love of my life. We've gone through our ups and downs and things were rocky, but you know, we stuck together. Like, what the fuck? Are you getting divorced? Do I need to look into this a little bit more? Like, what's going on? Don't put that on social media. Don't do that.
I will say, I am a sucker for me, myself, doing the sappy ass Valentine's Day social media post, but you will never fucking catch me typing the words. We've been through our ups and downs. If you put that in your post, all I'm reading is, he cheated on you. He cheated on you. He cheated on you. Like, that's all I can think of whenever I see that. Because I'm sorry, but back in the day when I used to know people who were in relationships like that is actually what they were referring to. And so in my mind, if you type those words, we have been through our ups and downs, he's cheating on you. And Valentine's Day probably isn't the time to remind the world that happened.
Right. One of my friends shared with us that they saw a post that had the term, we had our hardest and holiest times. What does that mean?
And holiest?
That's okay. Listen,
did you be rebirthed? Did you guys get baptized together? Like, what is that? I'm like, I don't know that I would put those two things together. You know, no. I was just like, this is why these posts need to stay off of social media. If you want to be sappy, and like be heartfelt, mean it. But don't add like a negative and a positive just to show that you're, you know, we're real. This is what we don't need to see that. Yeah. Okay? Also, do you ever catch the men posting? Do you ever catch the men posting that?
No, and if they do, I also low-key have an issue with that because why are you posting? It's for the girls, not for you. No, I just
yeah, it's doing too much. It's too much.
It is. All right, we have to move on because I could go on and on. But we're moving into our next podcast game that we love, overrated or underrated. So again, it's Valentine's edition. We're going to get into it. Giant teddy bears, overrated or underrated, Jess?
Major overrated. I'm sorry, but where the fuck do you put that thing? I will say back in the JCPenney days, I don't know how this happened because y'all remember we used to work at JCPenney's together back in college. Somehow I got a giant teddy bear. It was giant. I don't know why I got this, how I got this. It was like in the back and they needed to get rid of it. And I was like, I'll take it. This is cool. The motherfucker took up so much space. I didn't know what to do with it. And now, as a grown 30-something-year-old, I could not imagine having that. Like, where do you put it? It just lays around in your house. Teddy bears in general, to me, for a gift in the 30s, like, that's cute when you were maybe in your early 20s and younger.
Sure.
But a giant one in particular, also, they're fucking expensive. Why do you need this? So, major overrated.
Okay. I would also say overrated as well, because what do I need a teddy bear for? Where's it gonna go? On my couch?
And then how embarrassing people come over.
Listen, how embarrassing? Is that what you meant? This could honestly relate back to our interior design ick, because if I walk into somebody's home and there's a giant teddy bear in the front door, I'm out, because what do you have that there for? Absolutely not. I don't like it. It makes me uncomfortable.
Before we go on to the next one, can we take a moment for the nails?
Oh, aren't they so pretty?
Valentine's Day nails. They're so cute.
Let me get them up in the camera. Do you see that? Wow.
They're so good. I love them.
Thank you. You know, it's funny because I am not a nail design person. Ask anybody. I'm like a neutral girly. But I feel like Valentine's Day is the one time that I'm just like, you know what? Let me play around with the colors a little bit. Let me play around with the hearts and all that stuff. So that's where I came up with. And shout out to TikTok for these nails, because that's how I found the design. So
they're super cute. I love them. So we can officially say that Valentine's Day nails are underrated /
underrated.
Rated.
Yes, I would agree with that. Okay, moving on. Matching couple pajamas. Overrated or underrated?
Ooh. Do you want to go first on this one?
Me, a single person, do I have thoughts on matching couples pajamas? Overrated. Because they're ugly, okay? I've never seen a couple's pajamas Valentine's Day edition that look cute. So somebody prove me wrong. You don't have to send it to me. Honestly, don't do that. Maybe tag us instead. Tag us if you've posted, which you won't. But tag us if you have, so I can see that there are cute ones that exist. Or send me the link to some that are cute, and I might change my mind. So Other than that, no. What about you, Jess?
Yeah, for Valentine's Day, it feels overrated. I do love it for Christmas. I think it's cute for
Agreed.
Christmas and Christmas cards. Valentine's Day feels weird. Like, honestly, the only matching couple stuff you should be wearing on Valentine's Day is lingerie, and I don't want to see that. So do not post that. Don't tag me in
That
that.
right. Please don't, because I'll have to block you at that point. So,
Yeah, so that's overrated.
okay. This one actually cracks me up, this next one, because I'm just like, what is happening here? But love letters written by ChatGPT. Overrated or underrated? I'm so confused by this, because why are you going to ChatGPT to write a love letter? No.
It's like this is the age that we live in now. It's like don't get me wrong. I use ChatGPT every single day. But like to write your emotions, like you're that emotionally stunted that you have to have AI write it for you, and then it doesn't feel real. It feels fake. I would be pissed if I found out I got a love letter and it was written by ChatGPT.
I know. And you can always tell, because it's just the way that AI writes things and the words and like the different phrasing, that you're just like, oh, this kind of feels like robotic, obviously. Feels very like stoic, and it doesn't feel like there's anything there. I would be fuming if I received a love letter written by that. No. That's a hard overrated for me. Don't do that.
Better be
And
keeping
honestly,
an eye on those any love letters they get.
Exactly. And honestly, if you're doing that, right. And honestly, if you're doing that, you should not be in a relationship, because you obviously do not care about that person enough to write something from your heart without having to type it into a computer. Like, that's crazy.
Wild behavior.
It's right.
Major
It
overrated.
is. All right. Our last one. Nicholas Sparks movies. Overrated or underrated? What do you think?
I think they are appropriately rated, because some of them I
That's
really
fair.
love and some I really don't. But like, if I'm gonna watch them, Valentine's Day is probably the time I'm gonna do it, and so yeah, I'm gonna say appropriately rated. How about you?
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think they serve a purpose. I prefer them over the Hallmark ones, because the Hallmark ones I can read like a book. Okay, I know exactly what's happening. But I think the Sparks ones are appropriately rated. So I would agree with that.
But I refuse to watch The Notebook, because that movie is the saddest ending ever. And I actually think my husband and I watched it on Valentine's Day maybe like a year or two ago, and I didn't want to watch it and he did, and I was so upset. I was sobbing, and I actually wrote my own love letter to him after we finished the movie. Not using ChatGPT, but
Right.
I refuse to watch it again.
I don't blame you.
All right, we are switching gears. Now, we asked all of you on social media, what was your worst Valentine's Day story? And we opened up hearing about mine, which, yes, really happened to me by a boy I dated in high school. And, you know, we have to kiss a few frogs before we find our Prince Charming. So now let's hear about some of your worst Valentine's Day stories. Stephanie, do you want to read this first one?
Okay, so this first one we've dubbed Psycho Man. So this person sent this in, and they said that this particular guy had ordered flowers for her, and they got into a fight that night, and then he asked for the flowers back, one, and then asked to send him the $80. And she was like, I still have the receipts of these. And I was like, please send them. So then we read through all of these receipts. He then proceeded to send her 20 messages demanding the funds, including a Venmo request, which is outrageous. And he even like waited outside of her apartment and just was like, I'm out here, like just come out and give me the money. Like, wild behavior. And I'm just like, absolutely not. So at one point in these messages, he was like, well, you need to just live up to, or something along the lines of, you just need to own up to what you did, and pay me the money. And she was like, well, we got on the phone and you said it was not a big deal. So I'm treating it like it's not a big deal. I'm not giving you the money. And he was like, well, I'm doing it. I need the money, And then she just blocked him. And that was the end of that. But I'm just like, could you imagine?
Also the fact that he waited outside of the door, that is stalker behavior. Men,
100%.
like, if you buy someone a gift, flowers, whatever, like, one, they don't owe you anything, and two, don't ask for it back and wait at their fucking house for it. That's weird behavior. That's not normal.
Such weird. It is. I'm like, you gave a gift. Let it go. Eat the cost and move on. It's really that simple. So bizarre.
I envision this man as being someone who is sitting in their basement, angry typing on Reddit about how much they hate women and how they've been wronged by women and how this girl still owes him $80 for the flowers that he bought her. That's what I picture of this man.
Honestly, I would not be shocked if I went on Reddit and found that thread.
Yes. On Am I the Asshole? Yes, sir, you are.
You are.
Okay, another one that someone submitted basically told us the story about how this man had asked her to dress up, said, I'm going to take you out, dress up, this is going to be really nice, and then proceeded to take her to the nice establishment that is Bass Pro Shops. I'm so sorry, but do you...
I would leave. No. Bass Pro Shop is crazy.
Like, imagine you're like in a cute dress. You have your heels on, a trench coat. You did your hair and makeup. Pulls up to the parking lot, says, hey, babe. I'm taking you shopping. Like, what? What are we even doing here?
Absolutely not.
I'm about to get you a new gun, ma'am. Like, what is happening?
I don't understand. And then I'm like, and then you expect something after that. You took me to Bass Pro Shop. You are getting nothing. You are getting blocked.
You are getting deleted.
Oh my gosh. Absolutely not. It's so wild. Thinking about this story is so funny to me because I'm like, this seems very like Midwestern. Like this person has to be from it's a very Midwestern date. And I can say that. We can say that because we both lived in Kansas. Like it's very much, that's what this is giving.
The thing is, if you were like into Bass Pro Shop stuff and that was like a fun thing that you were going to add on to your date or whatever, but it's the get dressed up, I'm taking you somewhere nice, and then you proceed to take her to Bass Pro Shops that gets me.
Right.
Like, unreal.
And then to a chain restaurant after. I have to add that in. Chain restaurant after. Like, you really just put the cherry on top with that, didn't you?
That's right on top.
It's nuts. Okay. One follower told us about how her boyfriend picked a fight with her over Snapchat. First of all, red fucking flag. Then said he wanted to break up, but not until after the concert that they had tickets for. And so, long story short, more of the story is that he's done and gone, and now she's a lesbian. So, guys,
we love that for her.
Like,
I feel like this was like her 13th reason why. She was like, done, really men, done. Good for her. You know, if that's the push she needed.
She's like, I got one more in me. One more.
Yes.
And if this one fucks it up, which is exactly what happened. But honestly, it sounds like she's better off anyway, so. Very
happy for her. Okay, this next one might be the most unhinged one that we received. And I'm going to kind of read some of this, honestly, because I don't really know how to summarize it. But basically...
Don't summarize it.
Okay, I'm going to start with, I was a junior in high school, so was my now ex. We were eating dinner with his parents at his house, and he said something off the cuff about something I don't even remember. Which one, like he was like, let's have a romantic dinner with my parents. I mean, maybe you're in high school, but that still feels weird. We'll keep going. About something I don't even remember. And I spouted back because I'm a woman who takes no shit from man. Preach. He slapped me across the face at the dinner table.
Square up.
It gets worse. I stabbed him in the hand with my fork and said, quote, touch me again, and the next time anyone sees you, your corpse will be being dragged out of a body of water on the news. Anyway, certified Valentine's Day hater over here because of that. The way I was floored when we received this message.
Oh, my jaw was on the ground because she stood on business. She was, I can tell from the message, I knew she wasn't fucking around.
Absolutely
that
not.
Wild behavior.
I cannot even get over the whole, like, I just want to know, I mean, his parents probably honestly were not fazed, because if, like, their son is, like, slapping her in front of them and has the audacity to do that, it's probably, he probably learned that from somewhere, first of all.
Right. But,
like, the fact that she just stabbed him in the hand, like, I support women's wrongs, and that was one of them.
I'm a huge supporter of that. Like, truly, that was the definition of fuck around and find out. Like, hello, do not mess with this woman at all. And she, as a junior in high school, she was like, try me. And he never did that again. So.
Yeah. So we love you for that.
Wow.
And
incredible.
You know what? Maybe he never slapped another woman again because of it, because he was a little bit afraid for his hand.
I hope so. I hope he lives in fear for the rest of his life. So.
Okay, so I obviously shared my worst one at the beginning, but Stephanie, we have to hear yours. So will you close us out on this segment by sharing your worst Valentine's Day experience?
Yeah, I can do that for us. So here's the deal. I was still living in San Antonio at the time. And I actually have never really shared this story with anybody, because I kind of just, it happened and I put it in the back. I was like, we got to move on. So in San Antonio, I was on a date with some random man I met off at Plenty of Fish. And at the time, Plenty of Fish was relatively popular in the area, oddly enough, it was in the same rankings as like Tinder and a couple other ones. And so I was like, Plenty of Fish, why not? So things were going well, I guess. And then we somehow ended up at his place. Not sure how that happened, but I was there. Not even 10 minutes later, bang, bang, bang. There was a woman at the door. And I said, who that? Who that is? Who's at the door? Turns out the woman at the door was his girlfriend. The way that I snatched my purse and got out the house. Wait, literally classic textbook. Wait, I can explain it. I said, explain nothing. And I kept going. And the woman is yelling at me. And I said, don't yell at me. This is not my fault. I was like, that anger goes to him. And so she sharpened up and like turned to him, was like chewing him out. Meanwhile, I'm hot at the time. I was driving my Pontiac G6 and I like whipped out the G6 and left. So I never spoke to that man again. Like, I was done. Like, I ignored all of his calls, texts. I was done. Fast forward 3 months later. 3 months later, okay, I saw a Facebook update that he was engaged to that woman and she was pregnant. Yep. And I said, oh, okay.
Also, I just, there's so much to unpack on this one.
Let's unpack, because there's a lot that happened.
One, shout out to you for being a girl's girl and just being like, peace, F off.
Yeah, I was not even trying. I was like, oh, nope, this is above me. I gotta go.
But like the audacity for him to like it's Valentine's Day. Like, what do you think that she thought you were doing on Valentine's Day? Like,
correct. So he lied to her and basically said that I found all of this out like through the grapevine and stuff, because we had some connections. He had lied to her and said that he was working. And so he was going to meet up with her later. It was a whole thing. And then, yeah.
Absolute scumbag.
Yeah. So it was like all of this was coming out after the fact I had left. I did not stay around for the fight. I was like, I'm not even getting involved in this, because I don't want her to come at me, because I might have to square up. And I wasn't trying to do that. So I left. And I should have known it was sketchy, because again, I was like, what, 24, 25? Like, I was young. But old enough to know better, obviously. But at the same time, I was in my mid-20s. And I should have known, because most of our dates up until that point were at his house. So not ideal.
Lessons. We love a good lesson.
They were either at his house or it was always like late at night. And it was never like during the day, out and about. It was very like late night situation. I should have known. And yeah, that's what happened.
Well, not your problem anymore. Thank goodness.
No. Could you imagine? Oh, I know it wouldn't have lasted if knowing, it was a whole thing. So I have no idea where they're at now. This was like 10, 11 years ago. So bye.
Yeah. Good riddance.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thanks for sharing. And thanks everyone who shared their worst Valentines. There were so many. We could not read all of them. They were wow. Y'all have been going through it and we feel you. But let's circle back. Let's get real. I think we need to decide our final verdict on Valentine's Day. Because we've obviously been hating a lot, but like what's our final verdict on it?
Right. You're right. You know what? Let's go back and do one last overrated or underrated. So, is Valentine's Day as a whole overrated or underrated?
I will say that it is appropriately rated because before my husband, I hated Valentine's Day. Hated. And I do think there's a lot of corporate BS to it and like capitalism. But I will give my husband credit. He's really good at Valentine's Day. I know this is like anti what we just all talked about, but he plans really good Valentine's Day. And we usually like do activities at home for Valentine's Day and cute things. Sometimes we go out and do activities, but he usually just really good at planning stuff. So I will say appropriately rated, but there's a lot of overrated stuff. But there are some good things. What about you?
It's over fucking rated. Okay? Over fucking rated. And here's the thing. This is coming from somebody who's single, okay? But here's the thing. I know when I meet my man, at one point, that will probably change. But until then, I think it's overrated. I feel like we have other days of the year to make sure that you're sharing with your significant other that you love them and showing that you care about them. Do that. I feel like the grandiose gestures on Valentine's Day are a little much, but I probably will change my mind when I get in a relationship. So anyway, take that for what it is, you know? So.
Absolutely fair. All right, besties, that's a wrap on today's Valentine's Day Unpopular Opinions and Icks episode. A huge shout out again to everyone who spilled their worst Valentine's Day stories. We are deeply sorry for your experiences, but also we lived for the drama.
Yeah, y'all did not disappoint. But if you want to be featured in future episodes, make sure you're following us on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube at Sisterhood Tea Party because we're always running polls, Q&A, and letting you in on all the tea and letting you also weigh in on all the tea that we have.
Yes, and don't forget our Galentine's Day giveaway closes tomorrow. So if you haven't entered yet, now's your last chance because we're picking a winner on Valentine's Day. So go check out the pinned post on Instagram and TikTok to get in on that before it's too late.
All right, besties, before we go, we have to hear what the last drop of tea is for the day.
Yes. Flowers die, but besties are forever.
I know that's right. All right, y'all. We'll see you next time on the next Sisterhood Tea Party. Bye.
Bye.